Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Yes, so if you recall, you remember we spoke about, or I told you about another aspect of my channel, um, which I've called Just Talk. And if you recall, I said that I would basically uh, allocate that area as an area that I basically just come and talk with you, related stuff to agriculture, um, crop production in specific. So, yeah, it's not really like a formal setting. As you can see, I am basically in my car, and I am I am literally going to the laundry. No, I'm going to um, dry some clothes. So, you know, I'm going to basically be there waiting, maybe uh, about 40 minutes. So I've decided, while I'm waiting, I could basically, uh, just talk to you about something pertaining to um, crop production. And I came up with a very good topic, which is basically related to transplanting. We're going to talk about transplanting of seedlings, and I have a few videos that I will show you, a few clips that I did to kind of show you some of the process. I'm going to just show you a few things that you need to keep in mind that you can do to ensure that when you transplant your seeds, they will survive. So first off, let me start this by showing you what I did. I deliberately did this. So I had about 4 plants, pepper plants in a pot. I just put the seeds there. So I sowed the seeds in the pot. They grew, but I all those 4 seedlings couldn't grow in one pot. So I have to basically move and move them to other pots. So so that I can have one in one pot. So what I did was, and as I said, I deliberately did this to basically show you, demonstrate to you what will happen. So I pulled out one pepper seedling out of the pot. The roots, some of the roots were broken. You get it destroyed or disrupt the rooting system. And I plant it in another pot and I leave the pot in the sun, right? And as you can see on this clip, you know, as you can see the comparison. I left it in the sun, and what happened is that because the roots were some of the roots were damaged, and the plant you know is not able to grow at the amount of roots that it needs to pull up moisture in such a short period of time. So what happened is that the sun was too hot on it, and it caused transpiration, and it caused the plant to lose a lot of water. And what happened is that when the plant loses that water from its system, it wasn't able to pull it back up, pull back from water within the soil, or the pot, the growing medium, pull back up, pull on water to basically sustain that turgidity, right? Hence it wilted. The roots were just not developed. So that is what this clip is showing you. And this other clip is showing you, how to properly, pull apart seedlings that you basically have, that that you need to, you kind of disturb their root system. So what you want to do is just, take your time, get it out of the pot, kind of squeeze the pot sides, get out, the soil with all the plants, and just take time, pull them apart, keeping the some amount of soil on each plant, because the roots would have been, intertwined in that soil, and keeping it together. So you want to keep that soil with each plant together, right? And kind of ensure that you have minimal amount of root damage as possible. And as you can see, the pot that you are going to transplant it in, or wherever you are going to transplant it, ensure that it is hydrated, right? And then you plant that seedling there. So if you are planting it within a pot like I'm doing here, what you want to do is basically put the pot somewhere cool. Don't put it in the direct sunlight, right? um, so as you can see here, I put it in between a few plants that will basically shade it until the roots are well, have recuperated and are regenerated, and can now pull on moisture from the soil to sustain itself. Then now I can move it and gradually put it in the direct sunlight. So the thing is, never you transplant a seedling that you have broken some of the roots. You have destroyed some of the roots basically. If you realize that some of the roots were destroyed, don't just transplant it and put it directly in the sun. It will die. It will wilt and die. When you transplant it, ensure that you put it in somewhere cool for it to grow back its roots, and to kind of um have back that balance, in terms of pulling water from the soil, and supplying it to the shoot, and basically um kind of synchronizing with the atmospheric, the evaporative demand of the atmosphere. And but it is kind of different with transplants from trays, because this is what a tray look like. And if you want to know how to set seeds in a tray, you can check out this video here, right here. Just check out this video and it will show you how to put the pro mix, how to hydrate the pro mix, how to put it in the seed tray, how to plant the seeds. And I also have another, I think it's a part of a playlist. You watch the entire playlist and you will see how the seeds germinate, from planting the seed to full germination, to when the seedling is ready to be transplanted. I have all of that here. So if you need that knowledge, that information, go and check out these videos right here, right? So as I was saying, if you have transplant that you did in a seed tray, it is a bit different from those that you do direct seeding with it, whether in a pot or in the direct ground, right? Because I said, in a pot or in the ground, you have to basically pull out the plant and you basically destroy some of the roots, right? But with the seed tray now, the seedling will come up with the root ball intact with the soil. So you find that you don't destroy any of the roots. The roots are all there. So you can basically, plant. You don't have to kind of gradually put them out in the sun, because the roots are already intact. You can basically go and plant those wherever you want to plant them. Just ensure that it has water, because it all comes down to water. It will be pulling on water. So ensure that the water is there. You ensure that you pre-wet or pre-soak the area before you plant any of your seedlings, right? So as I said, putting them together, the seedlings from a seed tray, would do much better if you should plant a seedling from a seed tray versus one from like that you pull out from a direct seed bed, that you just put the seed in the soil, and then when it grows, you pull up the plant out of the soil. If you should compare those two plants and plant them in a location, you're basically exposing them to the sun, right? You plant both of them side by side. You give them the same amount of water. You'll find that the seedling that is coming from the seed tray will stand up much more stronger, or more turgid. It will not wilt as much as the one that some of the roots were destroyed. Because as I said, the transplant coming from the seed tray has all its roots intact. The one coming from where you pull it out of the pot or you pull it out of the ground, some of the roots were destroyed. So you find that it needs to grow back some roots to basically start pulling on moisture again. But the transplant out of a seed tray, wherever you plant it, it will just basically, first of all, it will have the soil that it is already entwined around, right? And it will be pulling on moisture from that, until it is ready to venture out into the new environment. But the truth is, right across the board, once you destroy, root system, you'll find that the plant will try its best to grow back roots, and obviously the amount of roots that a plant have, and it allows it to pull on certain amount of moisture and soil, other soil resource. However, if you destroy some of those roots, it's stand to basically confirm or conclude that the plant will not pull on the same amount of soil resource, water or other soil resource, because some of the roots were destroyed. And the kind of balance that the plant would have had with all its roots intact, it's not going to have that kind of balance. No, so you'll find that the plant will have show some form of wilting. And as I said, this is what I wanted to explain. And I hope you learn something. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Just don't put your plants in the direct sunlight when you transplant them, when you know that you destroy some of the roots. Don't put them in the direct sun. Put them in a cool area under a tree like I did. Put them between a couple plants to give some amount of shade, and then you gradually put them out in the sun, right? So I think I have touched on the major things that I wanted to talk about. And if there are any questions, any comments, please put them in the comment section. And gardening is always a good thing, because you are able to basically produce your own food. So whatever questions there are, I'm really happy to answer them. And as usual, please remember to subscribe to my channel. And I actually like this. I like this part of the channel where I just sit casually and talk to you. You know, um, a lot of things can come out, and I've certainly learned something. I don't know about you, but thank you for really tuning in. And I'm basically going to collect the clothes now. So just remember to subscribe, and I'll see you again in another video.